Hello everybody, welcome back, well not back, but welcome to another video. And today's it's gonna be on my dad's car, his 1985 Monte Carlo SS. It's kind of in a rough condition as seen, but it's got a nose, it's got an engine. Well, at least it's got a driver's side door. It's got an interior. Well, part of it. And yeah, so we're just gonna be talking about it and pretty much the plans, some of the plans for it in the future. So first things first, we'll talk about the engine. This is a 383 stroker that my dad built for this car. And here's the air filter. We just took it off so we could see the carb. And this car, he didn't buy new, because he would have been 10. He bought it somewhere, and he used it in college. And so he bought it, he drove it, it was his daily car. He drove it around, and he used it in college, and then he blew a head gasket on the original engine, and then he built this engine and put it in here. But he wants to take this engine out and build a new one for it, which I could see that. And then, yeah, so the air filter, and there's a little screw that goes on it. Here's the nose, it's just literally sitting on there. And then here's the interior. So this is an SS. It is an 87 SS Monte Carlo. It does have some gauges, extra gauges and stuff. And he did use it for racing, for street races sometimes. So there's that. But here's the steering wheel. And so we got the wheel. We got the dash. Here's the RPMs, oil, water. And then we got the transmission. It was an automatic. He's not a fan of automatics. He thinks manuals are better, which I can agree with. And then we got the little center compartment. A lot of cash in there. Well, change. Got the cigarette lighter. And then the AC, which slides. And here's the little vents on either side. And the driver's side. We'll get to that later, because that's where all the good stuff is. And then back here, gotta get in the back. It's a little dirty. Back here, you got the bench seat with the lap belts, because this was made in '85. So the driver's seat and the passenger does have the shoulder belt. This did not. It's got the little lap belts. And these actually say, I don't know if you can see it, but it says GM on it. For General Motors. And there's a little ashtray. Oh, drivers. Alright. Now we move into the good part. Well, my favorite part of this car. Driver's seat. You know, as you can tell, you can't open the driver door. One, it's locked. And two, because it's right up against the wall. So, you gotta climb over the whole center console just to get over here. Alright, so here's the steering wheel. Little horn. Horn's not in the car, it's over It's over somewhere else. We got the left, right blinkers, ignition, you put the key, whatever. And then this, how you adjust the steering wheel, you can make it higher or lower. And then you got the gauges. He's got 84,000 miles on it, well, total. This new engine, he said, it's got about like 100, not even in the quad, like, he said probably not even in the triple digits, which, because it's a new engine. And then we have the AC switch, the headlights, and the previous gauges I was talking about. We got the gas pedal and the brake. And then hood pull, brake release, whatever this is. I don't know what it is. And we got the little door handle, and then the windows, and the door lock, which the thing came off, so he just took it off. And then this thing, which is really cool, because when you do it down, it moves the mirror down to the side of the car. So when you're like backing up, you can look at it like that. And then you move it back with this thing. So then here's the exterior. I don't know how well you could see, but it's got all the things an exterior needs. It's got fenders, hoods on the roof, it's carbon fiber, and he said he's gonna get a different one. This thingy that doesn't really stay on. These switches, I don't know what they're for. And then this button, this is a nitrous button. He bought this car used, and the guy put this button in. He had it before him. You put the button in, you push it, and it sends the nitrous from the trunk all the way into the engine. Kind of like a Fast and the Furious. And then the normal gauges again. Another little fan. And then this little switch. I don't know what that switch does. We'll have to ask him later. But let's get the car first before I start talking about what he wants to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Alright. So this is an older car, obviously. It's got the fuel thing underneath the fuel gas lid underneath the license plate. It goes under there. And so in the future, he said what he wants to do is he wants to get a new fuel filter. Well, not fuel filter. A new fuel pump. And new fuel lines to kind of... Because that's all it needs. And a new battery. That's all it needs to actually run. Everything else is already in the car. Like, it's got the ignition coil, well, distributor. It's got the heads, it's got the carb, it's got the oil, it's got everything. It's got the brake fluid. So, what he said he wants to do is he wants to obviously get a new fuel pump and fuel lines, and then just get, and then like some gallons of premium racing fuel, and then start it. So he can start it whenever he wants to start it. So we can hear it. And if you're wondering, this is for the drive shaft. So if it breaks, it doesn't pop, but crash through the floor. It holds it in from doing that. So he needs to get a new fender, new left fender, because, well, one is stented, and two, it's kind of not the right size. It's gappy. It's kind of not the right size. There's a big gap here. And over here we got the door handle, and then just the back of the car. Yeah, that's it. And then yeah, it's not locked. It's not locked up or anything. Everything still moves. like it should. And yeah, here's the fuel lines. Whoa, that was weird. Some stuff just fell. Weird. And then we got the please fix me on the windshield and with all the dust. Because I dusted all this off. Here, let's take a look, see what it used to look like. I can't use the flash. So this is what it looks like now after I dusted everything off. You see this? This is what it looked like before. The whole car looked like that. And then I dusted it off one day while we were cleaning. Still haven't dusted that off because it seems like too much work. All this just fell. Weird. And yeah, so that's everything. Except for one thing. Took the headliner out. So then there's the dome light in the corners because it was drooping. So then instead of fixing it, he just tore the whole thing out. He could have just glued it. That's my mom pulling out. But yeah, instead of fixing it, he just, like gluing it, took all of it down. And then in the glove box, he's still got, where is it? Owner's manual. Monte Carlo, 1985 Chevrolet owner's manual. Keep car all times. Blah, blah, blah. Pretty much just goes on all about all these fixing things. Oh, let me put this back. Now there's this big open area here in the garage. When I'm older, I want to buy a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. And when that happens, it's going to be parked right over there. Right next to the SS Monte Carlo. Now for those of you who want to see, here's the VIN. So, yeah, this is his car. It's nice. He's owned it longer than I've been around, but I mean, what do you expect? It's from 1985, and it's an SS, so it's a special car. And then my grandpa's got a 1980, I think 87 SS El Camino, so, and of course they have the same kind of nose, so I'm gonna have them both running one day. Well, the El Camino, my dad, so the last person who drove it was coincidentally my dad. He drove it to high school, and then somehow it caught fire in the parking lot. So then my grandpa bought it back from the insurance company because it was originally my uncle's. My grandpa bought it back from the insurance company, and he's been wanting to restore it, and so we just had it sitting in his garage ever since. One of these days in the nearby future, we will fix it up. In memory of him, because he sadly passed away this year. And we're going to fix it up in memory of him. So then, because he wants to, so originally my dad wanted to sell this car and get a Dodge Challenger, a yellow one with a black hardtop, because my grandpa had one, a 1971 Dodge Challenger, bought it new. And then once me and my dad found out, and we could sell this thing once it's done, and then buy a Challenger. And then he realized that my grandpa said he wanted the same burgundy red interior as he has. So then my dad's like, well, no, I can't sell it, which is funny. And that's so cool because we get to keep this car. And we also found out that my grandpa owned a 1968 Dodge Cornet. We don't know if it was Cornet 500, just Cornet, but it was a nice, cool green Cornet. And so he, well, traded that car out probably for the Challenger. I traded the Challenger out for some other car. It was a whole mixed match thing of trading out cars with him. My grandma said he traded out cars like he was trading in like money or whatever. And yeah, so like I said, I want to buy a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, put it right here next to it. But my grandpa's playing with the my family's playing with the SS El Camino. Well, we want to fix it up, obviously, but it's conditioned. So it's together mostly, except for the entire front end, because the engine caught fire. So this whole front end of the El Camino is gone. Well, not gone. It's just not on the car. It's gone. We don't have it. So it's not on the car. And it's pretty much just the rear end, just the tail. You could see the tail from the garage, but it's very crowded. There's a lot of stuff in there. So once we get that all situated, then we're gonna do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So here it is, all in its glory. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video of my dad's SS Monte Carlo. But before we go, I do want to point out some things. So the rims, not original. The original rims are gone. They're gone. We don't know. I don't know if he sold them or not. Here's another one of the same kind. Now this rim, and the tire back here. This was from the El Camino. It was an El Camino tire. It was from his El Camino. And then that's a transmission from one of my uncle's cars. And yeah, that's it. That's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed me talking about my dad's car. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and remember, keep dreaming.